So when I come before y'all and I look away, but I'm not always okay. And I don't want your sympathy. Anything you want to do in life, all you got to do is start. Press play. Hey y'all, hey. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Every Play Possible, and you are back with your girl Tan. And on this episode, you can expect real cute, a little real estate, and real talk. So I'm your homegirl Tan, is my realtor. I serve the South Carolina area with purchasing or listing real estate. And you can reach me at 843-230-5023. Yeah, it's your homegirl. So that's that real estate, and let's talk. So I'm feeling real cute today. How about it? So on my last episode, I talked about disobeying God, hearing the word of God, and not following what God was leading me to. So on this one, I kind of want to talk about opinions. Let's talk about opinions. How people think their opinion matter. You remember the old people used to say opinions is just like buttholes. Everyone has one. Well, my grandma used to say, or my mama used to say, opinions is just like an asshole. Everybody got one. So don't even worry about what nobody's opinion is. Excuse my French, but that's just what it is. So when I decided that I was going to make a video one day, I went live, no video. I went live one day and I decided that I was going to announce divorce was okay. It wound up creating a whole lot of opinions about what somebody think I should or should not do. I didn't care because I was simply addressing the elephant in the room, and it was what it was because it was time. So I'm going to take you back. Let me tell you a few things about me. I'm a real estate agent, and I serve as a hairstylist here in King Street, South Carolina. When I say every play possible, that comes from some of the things that I did in life. So let's talk about in 2014, when I decided that I was going to become an educator at King Street Senior High School. So I used to always tell my students different ways they could get inspiration when it comes to creating hairstyles. So when you're coming up, if you look back at some of your pictures in high school, you thought you was all fly, you thought you was all this, that, and the third. But when you look back at them now, you be like, damn, why I had that on? So as you evolved, as you grew, you started to get inspo from videos, from celebrities, from TV. So I used to tell my students the same thing. This is where you want to get your hair ideals from. You want to get your hair ideals from TV, celebs, just in the grocery store, in the mall, in the bank, different places you go, you want to get inspo. And you don't never have to do a thing in a cookie cutter way. You can do it the way you want to do it. You can take a piece of this and a piece of that and remix it. People like to say, oh, she got this from me or she got that from me. Listen, if I see it and I want to do it, I'm going to put my stink on it and it's going to be good as done. And I used to always tell my students that. So today I got a little inspo from the movie that everybody is talking about, that Best Man series. Let me tell you. So when my homegirl called me and said, girl, you gotta watch this. So she gave me her password, her login information to get on. Could not get on it. God bless, could not get on it. Thank her for it all. So my daughter was like, well, mama, put this on your TV and you'll be able to watch it there. Could not do it then. So during the holidays with my family, I could never watch it. And things happen for a reason. And I just feel like God just set it up that way. But I wanted to watch it with them so we could laugh and talk about it because that's what we do with our little pajama night. So I wanted to watch it because I kind of seen people talking about it on social media and I didn't want to see what they were talking about prior to me watching it. But you know how we are. We still going to just see some of the things they were talking about. So I got my oldest daughter on the phone. She talked Zuri through how to put it on the laptop and I was able to watch it. Got through the first 2 episodes. Wasn't really I wasn't really impressed. It fell, fall asleep. And then she was like, Ma, you got to finish watching it. It's so good. So I made some time to watch it. And I wanted to think it was the 7th episode. I'm not sure. But listen, I'm a tough cookie. I'm not that girl that's going to go through the movies and be crying about different stuff. I think it was the 7th episode. I think. It may have been the 8th one. I can't remember. But which episode it was anyway. It brought tears to my eyes. It made me full. It put me in my feelings. I'm going to be the first person to tell you that I have not healed. I am healing. I'm doing this thing called life the way I'm doing it as I go through what I go through. I feel like my pain has positioned me for my purpose, and I feel like I look like I carry this thing so well, and I don't always do, and I'm going to just try to keep it together because that's who I am. But as I watch this thing and I look at them, I look at the girl and she just tried her poor little hardest in trying to make this man see I'm here for you at all times. When are you going to show up for me? He was not showing up for her, and neither was she the apple of his eyes. But before I saw this part, I did read some things that people were saying about Nia Long, that was that the finest man they could find for her. Listen, looks ain't important. Looks ain't important when you love somebody. Looks is not important at all. The finest of us all, and we ain't matched with nobody fine as us, because I know damn well I'm fine, and I ain't never been with a nigga fine as me. Never. Never, never, ever, ever. But needless to say, looks ain't important, because when you decide you're going to be with somebody, you're going to be with them for something else. And if you decide that you're going to say for better or for worse, you say for better or for worse, but it takes two to tangle. My grandma used to say, one link of chain can't rattle by itself. That's the God honest truth. You take one link of chain and you shake it and you ain't going to hear no noise. But you add another link on it and you're going to get that noise. You're going to get that noise. So it takes two to do this thing. So before I start talking, my first piece of advice I want to say to you guys that have never been in a marriage. Yeah, you got common sense. Yeah, you've been in a relationship, but if you ain't never been in a marriage, the first thing I want to say to you is shut the up. Period. That's the first thing I want to say to you. You have no room to judge. You are not God. You don't get to decide. It is okay to choose you. Again, it is okay to choose you. You have no room to just, like I used to tell my kids, and they was kids, saying stupid stuff about people, and I was trying to raise my kids, and it was probably wasn't nothing I should have told my kids, but my kids can tell you, I used to tell them, shut your up. That's your mouth. Yeah, I was just that gutter. Don't put your mouth on people's stuff when you don't know what people go through. You don't know. But anyway, back to the movie. So I just felt like this girl, she set it up where they went to counseling. He couldn't hear her. He couldn't see it because he was selfish. And sometimes people will say, I'll make the change. I'll make the sacrifice. And they'll walk out the same room they say they're going to do that in, and they won't do it. They won't do it because then the reality of it is they don't see the problem. You can't fix what you don't address. And it's not okay to keep putting yourself on the back burner for you or your child, or for your spouse or your child, and you just sit yourself on the back burner. That's not fair to you. Your whole life will pass you by and you have done nothing. I mean nothing. So I say all that to say, y'all don't get to decide for people. People get to decide. When I decided that I was going to tell the world that divorce was okay and I was okay and I was going to be moving forward, people wanted to blame me because they see my social media and they look, oh, she's so all out there and he's so quiet. Baby, you don't live with this man. I'm not here to tell you what this man did or what this man didn't do, because that's not what it's about. It's about that opinion you form. Us ladies so quick to join teams against another woman. Baby, you a woman and you got a mama. Some of y'all got sisters, cousins, and aunts. It is not fair that you don't know what people go through. And this is why God probably set it up where that passcode couldn't go through when my family was here. Because if I was going to get fooled like I did, I probably would have got fooled in front of them. And they probably would have think I needed more attention than I really need. I don't need that much attention. Because again, I pray my way. But some things trigger me because I'm human. So when I come before y'all and I look away, but I'm not always okay. And I don't want your sympathy. I don't want your sympathy. I am dealing with this thing because at the end of the day, I'm not okay because of a choice that I made. Remember in the last episode, I told you I heard God and I did not follow what I know, where I know he was leading me. I disobeyed him. So it was my choice. I take ownership. And because I did that thing, I had to walk through that pain. I had to. Every time I let this man tell me we were going to do something different and whatever, I made another choice to try again. But my thing, when it comes to all this, when is enough enough? You don't get to decide. People talked about her taking the child to Ghana. So what? I have to compare myself in the same situation because she wants to take her child somewhere where she's going to get peace because healing is a process. I didn't take my child anyway. I stayed right here 5 minutes up the street like this man wanted her to do, and the man still don't come around. He does just enough. We can never do enough for the men. We can never do enough. So again, comparing myself to her, she wanted to go to Ghana where she can have a peace of mind. I stayed here. And it didn't make it no difference. So you don't get to shut your mouth. You don't know what you will do. My favorite saying used to be, one time I used to say I wasn't never getting married. And then when I made up my mind I was going to get married because I knew I wanted to be married. I was pushed for time, remember? I wanted to be married. So I used to say, boy, if a motherfucker asked me to marry me and I say, yeah, if you fuck with me, you stuck with me. I got that shit from some more. I love it and I was going to live by it. It came to a point where I didn't want to be stuck with him. I didn't want to be stuck with him. In spite of what it looks like on the outside, all I'm telling you is you don't know. When you put your little posts out there, when you say your little shit like you don't know who feelings you hurting. You ain't hurting mine. I promise you ain't hurting mine. Because I'm dealing over here. I ain't dealing because of what people saying. I'm dealing because of the choice I made. And because of the choice I made, I got to walk through this thing. And I'm going to do that. But I'm going to be led by God doing it. I'm going to pray. I'm a slave. I might cuss and I might fuss, but I got a clean heart. And just like the girl in the movies, he called her on the phone. He wanted to speak with his daughter. And what she say? She's out on a play date. I'll have her call you back. Not even telling him that she was surprising him with her, because that's what us good mothers do. When my spouse decided he was going to leave here, somebody brought it back like, yeah, he said he left there. He took 4 or 5 grills. Of course the fuck he did, because I listened at him. I knew what his likes were. He had a passion to cook. So with that passion to cook, I sat there and I said, instead of doing a restaurant, why not do a food truck? So you can pull up here, you can pull up there. Every time it was a holiday or a birthday, I was that mom that was buying $700 tires for a motherfucking food truck, buying gas grill, gas burner, hibachi style grill, regular grill. I bought it all and you can take it. Because all I want is a peace of mind. All I want is a peace of mind. I don't want your 50-50 no more. I don't want your 50-50 no more. I'm entitled to more than that. The things that you were able to do with me, I made up in my mind, God, if I could just do this by myself just to have a peace of mind. And some days I don't have a peace of mind. But I sleep every night great. Every night. And if I don't sleep good, it's only because it's a little hot in there and I think it might be a hot flash coming on or something. It ain't because at the end of the day, my mom used to say, it don't take all damn day to do what you need to do. And we ain't doing it over here. Point blank, period. So I say all that to say, y'all, remember I told you in the last episode, you got to get Jesus on the main line. You better not listen at them folks. Because if you listen at them folks, you probably going to be fucked up. Don't listen at them folks. If I would have listened to my folks, I would have been saying, to death do us part. Yeah, death of the motherfucking marriage. That's where I'm at with it. Do you really know what your value is? Do you really know? Are you that person that's sitting there on social media, putting up this good post, putting up this good scripture, putting up this facade, some shit you done saw somewhere and it looks good? They talk about mute R. Kelly, but mute yourself. Because if you ain't living by none of that stuff that you sitting up there posting, stop playing. In this season, choose you. In this season, choose you. I'm not saying don't make your marriage work, because I love how that couple was for each other. They went through their little thing, but when they got it back, they was like, they loved each other out loud. They said, we are going to be honest about our feelings. I am a communicator. I am an aggressor. I ain't never sitting here with my mouth shut. In no form, no fashion. I'm talking in the bedroom. I'm talking in the kitchen. I'm talking in the bathroom. You can't shut me up. Needless to say, some men don't appreciate directions. They feel like directions is you trying to rule them and tell them what to do. But if I don't give you no directions about this temple, which is my body, how the hell you gonna get me to the finish line? You ain't. You ain't. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. Let's just say this. When you communicate effectively and it doesn't work because your partner, the two it takes to tangle, doesn't see a problem, ain't nothing wrong. We good. It ain't that serious. You overthinking it. I'm overthinking what? I'm telling you how I feel. I'm telling you what makes me do whatever. Whether it's happy, what makes me happy, or what makes me feel sad, or what puts me in my feeling. If I don't handle this, then how are you going to rectify it? How are we going to rectify it? I'm already a happy person on the inside. So because I'm a happy person on the inside, I'm going to bring happiness to the table. But every time I walk in a room, if you're trying to dim my light, who are you? Are you the partner? But let me tell you, this shit gets so good, and I can't give it to you all in one day. Because I found out eventually I was sleeping with the enemy. Don't get that fucked up. Now, when you find out why I say I was sleeping with the enemy, you're going to be like, 10, I know you didn't. But what am I lie for? What am I lie for? This your girl. This your home girl. I have no reason to lie. And I won't. But I'm going to tell you things on a need-to-know basis. But I'm not the smartest, but I ain't no dumb girl. I may not have a master's or a bachelor's or a doctorate, but the good thing about it is I know I'm smart enough to know how to get the answer. So when you know how to get the answer, you are smart. So I keep telling myself, I'm smart. I was smart enough to know it was time. So was the girl on the movies. She knew it was time. She knew when something went wrong. She knew when that man tapped out. She knew. Because we knew. We had that hunch. We knew. We know. We don't want to know, but we know. Some people say, I want to know. I want to know. I had a friend one time, she was talking and she was like, yeah, I want to know. That's why I go through his phone. That's why I do this. I said, and when you know, what you going to do with what you know? When I first got married, I told my homegirls, I was like, don't tell me shit about my husband. Because I like somebody getting up at night helping me with these bottles. I like somebody helping me change these pampers. I don't want my situation to change. So I don't want to know. Needless to say, ain't nobody had to never tell me nothing. They said, keep people out of your marriage. Wasn't nobody in my marriage. The people that was in my marriage that was supposed to be the husband and the wife, sometimes they wasn't there. Because I checked out too. Yeah, I checked out too. So again, for all you that think you can just have an opinion, of course you can have an opinion about a movie. You can have an opinion about a movie because that's just what it is. But movies stem from the real lives of people. So when it comes to somebody that you real life know, be mindful what the fuck you say. Be mindful, because that advice you're giving them might be the only advice that they're getting. That advice may lead them to a ledge to jump off. That advice might lead them being stuck in quicksand when it's time to move. Sometimes people can't hear God because of you. So all I'm saying is be mindful what you say to people. I'm a positive person. I'm not a negative Nancy. So and my friends will tell you this. They can see the bad in something, and I'm gonna pinpoint the good. I don't care what you say about me, and I've always been that girl. When we walk up in the club and I got them piercings on, the niggas gonna be like, girl, what you smoking? Nigga, I don't smoke. I've always been that girl. I'm with my crew, and niggas be like, oh yeah, and the females be like, oh yeah, she fucking with so-and-so, she fucking with so-and-so. No, my own girl might be fucking with her. But trust me, if I call you my friend, if I know you, if we having conversation, bitch, you safe. You safe. Some of y'all was applauding, some of y'all was laughing, skinning and grinning when y'all heard that my marriage was over. And I could have got on live and said, yeah, my marriage is over, but you got to be mindful that I don't make your damn husband or your man come up off that porch. Because, baby, but I don't rock like that. I really don't rock like that. If I know you, if we conversating, baby, you are safe. I promise you. You are safe. I don't want nobody husband. I don't want nobody man. Because I'm not backseat riding to nobody. I am a trophy. I know my value. I sit in the front seats. I am the chosen one. I'm not saying I can be kept. I damn sure can't be kept by nobody that doesn't want to keep me. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, when she went and filed for that divorce, he didn't try to fight for her. He said a few little words at the end when she was about to leave. But I won't be with a man that ain't gonna pursue me. Nigga, you gotta court me. You gonna have to bring it. Because I sat in a marriage for 4.5 years. It's already 5 now, but I'm separated. I sat in a marriage and was not pursued. Was not pursued. I'm not doing it. And if you can do it if you want to, your friends just going to be laughing. Because let me tell you something about sometimes in a circle. Everybody ain't got the best circle. I like that circle, even though it was some cutthroat shit going on in there, but I like that circle. But I like when old girl stepped up to and I don't know these characters' names because I don't really watch TV, but I like when Shelby stepped up to the plate and she was like, if something happened between you and her, you better take that shit to the grave because I like old girl and I don't want no problems. I like that. So if you ain't got a good circle, a motherfucker will be looking at you laughing, glad you ain't at the top. They was pulling on your skirt tail anyway. Baby, yes, you have to know how to follow before you can begin to lead. But at the end of the day, you better be mindful who you're following, and you better be mindful when you need to lead and when you need to follow. Because in this life that I'm living, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do both. But I know who I'm leading, and I know who I'm following. And it's okay to be a leader to a certain extent. And it's okay to sit back and be a follower to a certain extent. Just make sure it's positive. Listen, tap in, like, subscribe, share, do whatever it is you do. I pray that I can encourage or inspire somebody to run their next play in excellence. It's your homegirl Tan, and I'm checking out.